Alrighty, guys, we have some big shifts in the MCU's slate moving forward because both of their next two biggest films, no disrespect to Fantastic Four First Steps, which I am very excited about, but the two real big films that the MCU has, really what they're resting on in terms of getting fans back on board with the MCU full time, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars have both been delayed by about 7 months. And I'm here to tell you, just in my personal opinion, why I think this is a good thing. Actually, a really good thing. But let's get into the news first before we dive into any of that. So, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars were both supposed to be slated for that marquee first week of May release date. Marvel has had that release date for a long, long time. In fact, I believe Iron Man 1 was released in that time window. And from there, what I remember, the first Avengers was released in that time window, the first week of May, I believe, in 2012. I think Iron Man 3 was as well. I could be wrong about that. But then you had, I think, not Winter Soldier. I think they skipped that in 2014. 2015, Age of Ultron was in that release date. 2017, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. 2018 was Infinity War, which technically was the last week of April, but still. 2019, Endgame, same thing. And then obviously COVID happened in 2020. It was supposed to be Black Widow, but 2021 also kind of COVID. But 2022, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. 2023 was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, so Volume 3, excuse me. So that May release date, May window, and now it's been Thunderbolts, which I think is great. I love Thunderbolts, is very important for Marvel. But they've moved those two Avengers films to December. Respectively, Avengers Doomsday is going to be coming out on December. I'm trying to find the exact date here, but in December of 2026, and Avengers Secret Wars is going to be coming out December 2027. And in between, so now this is the full picture of the MCU slate here, because it's interesting, right? Because Marvel had release dates for November 2026 and 2027, but obviously you're not going to release two MCU films a month apart. So those two November release dates are now gone. And not gone completely. They've been changed to just Disney untitled films instead of MCU untitled films. But now, with the release schedule shift, this is what's going on here. So we have Thunderbolts, which is in theaters right now. Fantastic Four First Steps is coming out July 2025. And then we have a year-long break, it looks like, until Spider-Man Brand New Day, July 2026. And even that film might move a little bit just based on Tom Holland's schedule. We'll see. We'll see about that. It also makes me curious, and maybe this is a conversation for a later day, of if that affected Spider-Man and Brand New Day at all. Because, before, it seemed like from reports that Spider-Man Brand New Day was going to be taking place at the same time as Avengers Doomsday. So I don't know. Maybe it doesn't affect Doomsday or Brand New Day at all. And there have been rumors. I haven't reported on this because it's just been scoopers and rumors and things like that. But there have been rumors that Spider-Man is still in negotiations to be in Doomsday. I find that a little skeptical. I'm a little skeptical of this because it's so... Doomsday is filming right now. But again, maybe this delay, kind of corroborates that a little bit. But anyways, we have that now. So July 2026 is going to be the next MCU film after Fantastic Four of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Then we're going to have December 2026 of Avengers Doomsday. And then we have a July 2027 release date, untitled. I'm going to assume it's Doctor Strange 3. I would think. Who knows? And then December 2027, Avengers Secret Wars. And we have a bunch of 2028 release dates as well. And I think that that's interesting. But here's why I think this is a good thing. There are a couple bad things about this as well. But I think that overall this is a good thing. I think really primarily the reason why is because this is a sign that Marvel understands. Kevin Feige understands these two films have to work. If Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, if the Avengers IP does not work anymore, Marvel is done. And I'm not saying done. Like they're not going to stop making movies and shows, but really that's a hurdle so gargantuan to overcome again. It's going to take a decade to get back to where they were. Just baseline, right? Net zero. It's going to take them a decade to get back there. They know that Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars have to work. They know they have to work. And the fact that they're going to take 7 months extra per film, I think is really good. I think it's a good sign. More time in this case is better. I think they know it. And again, release date delays cost the studio money, but they must know that that's going to pay off in the long run. Like putting more quality into the film, having more time for the VFX artists to put time into the film, more time to shoot, more time to re-edit and reshoot and things like that. It's a really good thing in my opinion. And perhaps this is a way to get Spider-Man into the films, right? If the schedule was too tight before, maybe Tom Holland can come in and do some reshoots or film on a green screen. I know that Benedict Cumberbatch did that for Infinity War. I believe he filmed a lot of his scenes separately just because of his schedule. That could be a possibility as well. So I think this is a really good thing. A couple of downsides to this that I wanted to talk about. And there are a couple other, I guess, before we get to the downsides, there are a couple other implications to this. Number one, Avengers Doomsday is now coming out on the same day as Dune Part 3, Dune Messiah. That's not happening. That would be crazy if that happens. Even if a film like Dune Messiah, I would imagine, has to move up a couple of weeks, it's not going to happen. They're not going to release on the same day. Also, I believe there was going to be a Star Wars film later that month of December 2027. I don't think that's going to happen anymore as well. So there are a couple things that are shifting around. I know Avatar 3 or 4, not 3. 3 is this year, but Avatar 4 was December 2027, I believe. So that might not happen anymore there as well. But those are all things that will be moved around. It's going to be a long time before Doomsday. I mean, we just passed the under 1 year mark, and now we're going to be about a year and a half away, and I think that's totally fine. But the two downsides to this, number one, is obvious. We have to wait a lot longer for Doomsday and Secret Wars. We have to wait until the end of 2027 to see how this all wraps up. And it's going to come, it's going to happen, but it's still going to be a long ways away. And that's a little bit of a bummer for me. But number two is it pushes out the films that we know have been gestating, we know are going to come even further. Guys, Shang-Chi 2 cannot come out earliest until 2028, and it better come out 2028. And even then, that's 7 years between Shang-Chi 1 and Shang-Chi 2. That is just too much. That's heinous, honestly, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not saying that Simu Liu's prime, quote unquote, is wasted. He can play Shang-Chi for as long as he wants to, and it's going to be fine. It's not like Shang-Chi, needs to be in high school or anything like that. But I mean, guys, 7 years between 2021 and 2028 minimum or maximum. We're going to have seen Shang-Chi 3 times in the MCU, or 4 times, I guess, with Doomsday and Secret Wars. But confirmed 3 times. Shang-Chi 1, Doomsday, and then I guess Shang-Chi 2 and Secret Wars. So 3 or 4 times. That's crazy. On top of that, Black Panther 3, which I'm a little less worried about, to be quite honest, because I think Black Panther 3 is going to have a lot of shakeups based on what happens in Secret Wars. But Black Panther 3 is coming with Denzel Washington as well. 2028, the earliest. X-Men is also confirmed. Doctor Strange 3, I think, will probably come out in that 2027 window. So, I mean, those 3 films, Black Panther 3, Shang-Chi 2, and X-Men, you have to imagine are going to be your 2028 films because, I mean, it's crazy that at this point those films haven't come out yet. So I would hope that that's the plan here. And then I guess 2029 is when the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool X-Force movie is coming out or whatever that's going to be. So, I mean, it's just pushing things a lot further back. I think that's a little bit disappointing, but still, you have to be happy at the very least that you want quality product. Like, I would much rather have Shang-Chi 2 come out in 2028 and be really good than have everything be super rushed and have it come out in 2027, for example. So I think, on the whole, I find this to be a pretty positive thing, although, like I said, there are a couple downsides in my opinion. Guys, what do you think of the news that Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars have been delayed by 7 whole months each? Let me know in the comments down below.